Hello, you beautiful listeners. I just wanted to let you know before the show starts that we had a little issue with our microphones during this episode. Some of the first part of the show has been cut because Laura basically sounded like she was coming to us from under the ocean. David is amazing and cut things together in a way that won't be difficult to listen to, and I hope that you enjoy the stories we have to share, because this was probably my favorite episode we shot in Bali. You'll hear about our coffee excursions, how my masseuse gripped my butthole, and how I died. Twice. So sit back and enjoy our last Bali episode, and please remember to leave your comments, emails, and voicemail feedback. We love you all, and now let's get to the show.
I have sex in fact I can't
No, but it's pretty.
But it's also like, okay, so you don't have to look at my like chocolate starfish. That's already cool. Like it could be like a rose,
Molly
or a heart,
starfish.
or Molly starfish. More merch mugs are coming. They're going to be released in Indiana.
Cute.
It's going to be very cool.
Welcome back, one and all. Thank you for listening. If you're new here, this is the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast, and I'm your host, Molly Stewart. We define wholesome a little differently here, and my guests span everywhere from the adult industry to the vanilla side of humanity. If you haven't, please consider subscribing. Word of mouth is what helps this podcast grow. So share with a friend, leave a comment, download an episode, or anything you can to help with the algorithm. I release episodes every Monday, and if you're subscribed, you'll never miss an episode. You don't want to miss out on all the crazy conversations that evolve here. But that's enough from me, and let's get to today's guest.
Welcome back, everybody.
Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast. We are your hosts.
Molly, Stuart, and Laura.
Really red. I bought a necklace.
You guys will be able to see it, but unfortunately, Laura bought a beautiful, beautiful necklace that
Here in
hated
Bali.
her skin.
Yeah, it probably was nickel.
Yeah, ended up getting a huge rash, but
We're recovering.
But anyway, so don't get dehydrated like me. Don't be dumb. Pack some sticks of liquid IV whenever you go on an adventure or if you go get a workout.
They're so slim and like portable.
Yeah.
Just throw it in your
I
bag.
should have remembered, and I was kicking myself all day that I forgot them. So
Good thing we had some Pocari Sweat as plan B. Mm-hmm. You know?
So many different flavors and stuff as well. Laura's packing some of the sleepy time ones for her flight back because today is actually her last day.
Please don't. I'm going to cry.
I'm very sad.
I'm going to cry. I'm going to stay right here. Just right
don't
here.
leave.
Right here.
You just become part of the furniture.
Yeah.
But so it was cool. So back to coffee. It was one of those weird things where I was like, oh, okay, I do actually have a caffeine problem because I tell you, I was grouchy. And we were doing everything fun. Everything was wonderful. Like there was no reason to be grouchy. And it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you're in a bad mood, and then it makes you even more upset because you're like, there's no reason that I should be in a bad mood.
No, there's no
right now.
reason, but it's just inside.
There's zero reason. And then as soon as that coffee touched my lips, I was like, everything is awesome. And everything was beautiful. Once again, it was like my eyes just were suddenly open and alive again. It gave me actual life.
Yeah.
Because I felt dead before.
And it's true. It is an antidepressant.
And the Bali coffee is very strong. Like,
Yeah.
Especially if you get a true like Balinese coffee. Like so it was to the point where I drink this coffee and I had like this much left in the bottom of it. And the guy comes over, he's like, do you want another one? I'm like, yes, but let me finish this one.
She chugs it.
I chug it. It's all grounds. It's just grounds. And it went down like
Maybe
sludge.
that's why your throat's scratchy.
It could be. But
But it wasn't like, I mean, who knows?
I ended up having a coughing fit in the car too because I decided to like swallow my own spit down into my lungs. And so that was really cool. I almost died, but it was fine.
She bounced back, guys.
So drank some coffee grounds, then had another coffee and thought, oh, okay, I'm completely wired. And then we saw all these beautiful, like we saw the people, you know, from where we were on the
Temples?
overlook. Well, we saw the people in the
yeah.
beautiful dresses, and I was like, oh, are they like
The
performing or something like that?
Yeah, these
And
were
I
like
was
some like gorgeous dresses, like satin draped dresses.
Such bright colors, so beautiful. They had flowers in their hair, so I thought it was something special. And then our driver was like, no, you can rent those. And we were like,
Shut the
Shut
door.
up.
Yeah.
shut up. We can go be princesses today.
Oh, and we did.
So we were
Sorry.
princesses. It's okay, we're after the 10-minute mark. Perfect.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh, but so we were princesses, and it was so funny. My man was just like, girls are so funny. And I'm like, yeah, but here it is.
And I see that too. Like, I'm like, man, only girls would really, really love this. But I'm a girl, and I really love this.
And I really love it.
And there's no shame in our game.
There was no shame. They helped us pick out dresses.
Yeah,
you know, it
they
was really
dressed
beautiful.
us.
Oh my God, it was so funny. Tell her
Oh my God. So I'm like in the fitting room, right? And she's like, I'm in a bikini from the waterfall and like a sarong. And she's like, oh, you must take your top off. And she rips it off me. And I'm like, ma'am, that costs $10,000 to see my tatas. My fun bags aren't for free. And I told Molly, I was like, girl, she saw my tits before you did.
I was very jealous, honestly. Like maybe.
Don't be. I
just
know.
rip off your top.
I guess you just got to be more aggressive.
That's okay. I don't want to be aggressive with you.
Rape!
'Cause I love you. Oh my God.
I'm kidding. So yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, it was
and then
awesome.
she puts my dress on. I'm like, oh, okay. It's all good.
No, it was beautiful. They tried to put us in sleeves though, and I was like,
Oh, hell no.
There's no way I'm doing sleeves, like, because I am sweating, and I was basically also just like in a bikini and shorts.
Yeah, and that
Because
poor
I was
lady
like-
too. She was like, I mean, if it was any other day, I would have been really pissed. But she said she felt hot.
Yeah, we were following this woman around who was kind of doing the photos on her own, and she was amazing. She was such a vibe.
We hyped her.
Yeah, she had these huge, like, long, flowy satin sleeves on, but
Like
this
bells.
fabric was not breathable. I sweated through this dress just wearing it, and I had no sleeves.
It was thicker than like most
And
drapes.
she had sleeves that were, like, hanging past her hand, so she's, like, going like this and trying to, like, do
Lay on
everything. I told her that thick thighs save lives, and we got a nice cackle from her out of that. And
Did
so-
she just say thick thighs save lives to like everyone around us? It's just like, oh my
That's
God,
it.
I love you.
Yeah, it was so fun, but it was really a really, really fun experience.
Yeah.
However, I got little marks all over my booty, all over my legs, and it's not acne. So when you guys see this in my content, just know it's not acne. I was attacked by ants
Everywhere.
the entire time that we are taking photos because I'm a dumb stupid head, and I was letting my dress just traipse along the ground because I'm a pretty princess. And it was just collecting ants who were then climbing up my legs
Fast.
through the dress. They were everywhere. They bit my ass. I was like, wow, everywhere I go, I'm just like slapping myself, and people are
on
looking at me
you.
like I'm crazy. They're like, what is happening? I'm like, I don't know. Why are there so many freaking ants that are biting me?
They were hungry for you. Like they
everywhere.
are with me with mosquitoes.
Yes, the
like
ants-
they've been like attacking me like crazy, but the ants love her.
Oh my God, and they hurt so bad. Like I remember when I was a kid, we went down to Florida, I think, for like some camping thing, and my brother and I were playing on the beach, right? And there was this big like sand hill. It was not a sand hill. It was an ant hill of fire ants.
Oh.
Fire ants. So we're playing because we're children and we're stupid. And all of a sudden we just start screaming and running for the car because we are just covered in red ants everywhere. My dad was
Ow.
like beating them off of us and like not like beating us, you know what I mean? It was never like that. Trying to get like the clothes and like slapping them off our legs. Like, and I had not really been bitten by an ant since then. And oh my God, it's just the worst thing. So my boyfriend is finally like, oh, okay, I think they're just getting from your dress. And so we're at the end of photos by now, and I've just been bitten by like 500 ants. And I finally start carrying my skirt around with me. No more ant attacks. So I'm just a big, stupid, dumb head, and I want you guys
She
to know that
learned,
about
you guys. So, live and learn.
Live and learn. The swings were so beautiful. It was a really, really fun experience.
The photos, they look photoshopped. You guys will see them, I'm sure,
Yeah.
online by
I think
now.
I've already posted some, but
Yeah.
you guys will get to see way more. It was just a very, very beautiful,
There's a
beautiful experience.
My favorite one's the one of us, like,
Yeah. Of
it
course,
captures our essence.
it's Laura and I, so everybody else, we take some that are nice, but I swear to God, that day, after I had coffee, I couldn't stop smiling the entire day. Like, my face hurt by the end of the day. So all of my photos, I'm just like, my face is just
Cheese.
like grinning ear to ear. They're not really that cute.
They're cute.
Like,
I love them.
But you see all the girls who are dressed in like these beautiful like model poses, and I'm like,
How about my face? Most of them my eyes are closed, so.
But of course, it's us, and so we had to do weird stuff, like how we took, photos of flashing our butts to each other at the other waterfall. We put our finger up our nose.
She
We
wanted
stuck
to
our
kiss
tongues in.
me.
Oh, yeah. So I did a photo, on the first swing with my man, and they're like, okay, kiss. And I was like, ew, cooties. But we did it anyway, because I love him. And
And then I get on the swing and she's like, so should we kiss?
yeah, I was like, so do I get a kiss from you on the flower swing?
And the guys were like, ha 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 ha.
And the guy's like, do it. But she wouldn't do it because you guys haven't cleared the goal or like whatever. I think that includes a kiss anyway, but like maybe.
No.
But it was just
On the
really
cheek.
cool. It was really beautiful. And I'm trying to think, because after that, we went to more coffee tastings.
We did. We went to coffee tasting. That was awesome. More luwak coffee.
Well, what was cool about the place we went this time is they actually had luwaks there.
Yes,
so we actually got to see them, and they were so adorable.
I want to take one home.
They do remind me a lot of your ferrets, just like massive. It's like corgi-sized ferrets.
Yes, they're really cute, and they're nocturnal, so they were sleepy. But
One
like
of them woke up.
the girl, she woke up, and then the boy was just sleeping on the. They had them separate. And yeah, like they were just the cutest things ever. And the girl woke up, she was like stretching. She was just like
so
kind of like one eye open, waking up.
We did another flight of coffee tastings and teas and
More
once
luwak
again,
coffee.
And it's like the more that we kept driving, there's just like coffee tasting everywhere. I was like, I could just live up here in the mountains and just travel between coffee places, just keep drinking coffee forever.
And isn't it so peaceful? Like, oh, it's raining outside. Isn't it so peaceful when like
it's raining.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's one of the things that I've really loved about Bali is falling asleep to the rain. I know we mentioned it, or at least I think we mentioned it on the last episode, but the rain is just so peaceful and it's warm.
It's tropical.
And because of the indoor-outdoor situation that we're kind of in here in this villa, it's really nice in the evening to just kind of
it's my
sit
favorite.
down in the little living area with the lights and the fans on, and you just get a little bit of the sprinkle mist that sometimes comes in and hits you, and it's so relaxing.
It's heaven. I don't want to leave. Don't.
I'm sorry.
Don't let me. No, I'm kidding. No, actually, this has just been like a dream come true. A week went by really quick, but we did so
I
freaking
can't even believe
much.
it's been that much.
We did so freaking much.
And you avoided Bali Belly the entire time. There's still time for me, so fingers crossed.
Not with the way we've been eating and all the cool restaurants we've been going to. This morning's breakfast was the bomb.
Oh my god.
Your taro?
All right, so I'm going to sidebar from yesterday's adventure to tell you about the coffee that I experienced this morning. Sorry, I know this is all just us ranting. Look at what a fantastic time we're having, but we are.
We're just trying to like
excited.
share the experience and like tell you guys like what we've found out and what we've discovered.
It's been great. So this morning we went to a cafe we got recommended like when we first got here, but we hadn't had time.
What was it called?
Nude. There's also a place I want to try that's called Porn Cakes.
Yep. And there's another place called...
Oh yeah, it has pastries, very sexual pastries. It's called Mr. and Mrs. Dick.
So you better go take pictures.
And there's another place called Glory Hole.
Laura,
Hi.
are you excited?
Yes.
Tell me why you're excited, Laura.
We have all the things coming.
We have all the things coming. Do you want to tell this lovely audience what things we have coming? Because I am very, very titillated.
Well, can I tell you the first thing that's happening? We're going to Bali.
We are going to Bali.
We're going to go to like the tropical nature, beautiful island. I'm so excited.
So excited. And we are going to be shooting 4 episodes there, which will take us all the way through November. Well, I am in Australia, and unfortunately we'll be separated again, but we get to watch each other every week.
Separated, but not.
In my mind.
We're going to use our toys.
And coming up in the new year, January 4 through 7, we will be at the AVN Expo show. We have a booth for the podcast and for me and my merch, so you can come and hang out and meet Laura and I. So
come
get excited for that. It's January 4 through 7 at Resorts World in beautiful Las Vegas. So we hope to be able to see you guys there. We are going to be having meet and greets, live interviews. We are going to have merch. All the merch that you guys have been waiting and wanting to see and buy, it's going to be available first at the convention. And then we're figuring out some new things for the new year as well. So stay tuned, and we hope that you guys will join us at the convention.
Get your
AVN
tickets.
Get your tickets. There will be a ticket in all of the descriptions, whether you're watching on YouTube or whether you're listening on an audio platform. Just check the description for where you can get your tickets. We hope to see you there.
Yeah.
Mwah.
So I want to be trying.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so weird going back and then the time difference for us, because like we talk all the time.
Yeah.
It's like each
I'll be
other
messaging
things,
you randomly, and
I'll be waking up just to talk to you.
Yeah, but it will be like when I was in Australia last time.
Yeah.
We'll make it work, bitch. We always do.
It's only a month. You'll be back before I know it.
Yeah. I feel like time has been passing so quickly, like this entire year. If I just think about the fact that, like, I'm trying to think about what we even did at the beginning of this year. So at the beginning of this year, okay. Oh, let's take a little look back at the year.
Let's go back.
Considering how fast this week has passed for us,
Let's take
it's
a beat
insane
here.
to me that it is already November as we are filming this. It's absolutely mind blowing to me. I just said that now and I was like, oh my god, it is November. But at the very beginning of the year, I went to LA and I was able to be a guest on Josh Potter's podcast, the Josh Potter Show, which was absolutely fantastic.
We love Josh.
And I feel like that was even at a point of this podcast where I remember being in the hotel, getting ready for that podcast filming, just like shitting myself. I was hyping. Do you remember me sending you clips of me in the bathroom, like hyping myself up? Because I thought I was gonna.
I like that pep talk you did.
I was gonna say something stupid or fuck something up, and it, I had so much like nerves and anxiety about that, and Josh ended up being so amazingly cool. Definitely go listen to Josh Potter's podcast if you have not. It's The Josh Potter Show. He's also been a guest here before.
Go see his stand-up too.
Go see his stand-up. It's absolutely cool. Like we went to one of his shows as well with Annie Letterman, which I know we've mentioned before, but
it was awesome.
Highly recommend. And
good times.
And it also feels like I was just in Australia, which was back in May and June, which is it's just crazy. I can't believe how much
you've been traveling a lot, girl. And all over, and like this was so fun that I got to come with you this time.
I'm so excited. We want to start making this like a yearly thing. So we've actually been talking about the fact that next year, of course, my man will be doing another fitness workshop out here. So if you guys are into fitness, there you go.
Up.
There's a good reason to go.
I think he's already committed.
Very, very cool gym. Very awesome. I can't wait to go train there.
So cool.
But and I would like to also bring Laura with me to Australia, hopefully.
That'll be the next trip. Yep.
So just a lot to look forward to, and I think that it's been a really eye-opening experience to how much that, like, not only I've been able to kind of accomplish or, like, kind of feel less nervous and scared and anxious about everything. And don't get me wrong, I still do. I'm still terrified and paranoid of Bali belly. Like, that's the only reason I haven't gone is because I'm literally so paranoid.
We're, like, picking the lettuce out. We're asking if the water's tapped. Yes. Yesterday they said yes, and we were freaking out.
Yes, there was a language barrier too.
Yeah.
So
she was like, "Oh no! Actually, it's bottled water. Yeah. Aqua." And I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah. So
we were like, "Relief,"
and it was fine, but it's also been like a testament to how much we've been able to accomplish together as well. Because I feel like this year is when you began being the real co-host. Was when I got back from Australia.
Yeah.
We set up the new podcast space.
The room is so. The room is
so comfortable.
It's coming to AVN.
It's coming to AVN. So that's another thing. We are going to AVN
in a month or two, like 2 months.
It'll be like 2 months,
which is gonna fly.
It's gonna fly like crazy.
So we're gonna like get shit in order back home. And
we have so many guests coming up for December. I can't believe like how booked out we are for guests and people who want to come on with us.
Yeah,
I can't believe
all the
amazing content.
The merch.
Well, and just us too. Just creating the content that we've been creating and that you guys have been consuming has been
Halloween
so fun.
Was so fun. All of October looks it was so great. You smashed it.
It's been such a wild.
What was your favorite
ride.
look we've done for Halloween? Was it the Cruella? Was it the Chucky? Was it the Elf? Which one? Like, I'm sure you have a favorite.
I think that Cruella was my favorite, just because I love doing the elf look.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take that off. Like,
but the bees.
But the bees, it was like, I think that the Cruella shoot was just the one that we got the most content out of. And so I feel like that's like the longest day that we really invested in. Because even like Chucky and Tiff was very awesome. It was super cool to do like
but we didn't get to do
but we
content.
didn't really do content. We just didn't have time.
That was more for fun, I feel like. And also like, it was for the podcast for the Halloween episode. Yeah. I hope you guys all enjoyed that. Yeah, that was like literally my favorite episode.
YouTube apparently didn't. YouTube is like limited monetization. I'm like, YouTube, why?
I know, but why?
But why? But it's okay. it doesn't really matter because I just feel like every time that we turn around, we are meeting new people who are enhancing our life in better ways. Whether it's like you even being able to interact with my fans as well, and
experiences.
Yeah, all the different experience. All the different experience. Check your credit score.
Isn't that credit card? Freecreditscore.com.
But like all the people that we've been able to connect with, you know, not only because of the podcast, but because of shoots, because of things like OnlyFans, you know, because of other people's shows and podcasts. Like,
yeah, and thank you for everyone who's contributed to the campaign.
Yes, it's been moving along.
Yeah,
already.
It's awesome.
We were just talking earlier today when we were walking out to get breakfast that
boobs.
Her next goal has to be, she kind of wants boobs.
At least by the time I'm 40.
Yes.
You know, I'm getting there, guys.
Yeah. Personally, I think her boobs are perfect, and I've never even seen them. But I told her, "Hey, girl,
you
if you want boobs, more power to you."
You kind of saw. Remember what that shirt I wore? That little top.
Girl, side boob is not boob. And let me tell you, that top. I was like, "Where'd you get so much boob?"
And I was like, "That top is going in the trash, or you can have it."
It looks so good. I was like, "Ooh, just a little jiggle, and I might see a little peek."
I felt like any move, it would have just slipped right out to the side.
When you first
side eye.
told her, you're like, "I feel naked,"
and she was like laughing.
She was.
I was like, "No wonder she got the money first, because I wouldn't have bought it."
Yeah. She's like,
"Your choice was perfect.
I'll help you into it."
And she was like, "That'll be 450,000 rupias."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, that's like $20 here. Take it."
But it ended up working. At least the skirt was really cute.
The skirt was really cute. I'll keep that forever.
Well, I'm trying to think. Oh, so the coffee tasting was once again wonderful. We bought more coffee because, of course, I cannot resist buying coffee and tea.
And that was like a beautiful view, like a jungle. They had swing there. They had a pool.
Yeah, the amount of swings on that drive was insane. I thought there was just like a swing, like the one swing
in
area.
Bali. No.
Every place that we drove past was like, and swing. So we ended up, you know, getting some more coffee. The guide there was really amazing. Got a little lunch. And then we headed over to the rice terrace. Now, driving around Bali and, you know, walking around, we've seen like little rice fields here and there, and they're very beautiful. But the terrace is just a whole different level. It looked like a storybook. Like it looked like a mythical place. It was just, you know, as far as you can see, just stacks and stacks, and you could like, you know, walk along each of the little like aqueduct areas. I don't know if that's what you call it, but kind of like little mini rivers that kind of go along
like
each
stream
little
rivers.
step of the different rice terrace area. So
it was so beautiful. It looked like you said, a storybook, like fairy tale.
I felt like I was walking around like Hobbiton or something.
It was
like
so
Lord of the Rings.
beautiful.
It was so cool. Just like an absolutely magical experience there.
And lots of butterflies, lots of like...
There's been so many butterflies here.
Yeah.
Blue, yellow, all this kind of stuff. I still feel kind of funny, like I just keep saying like, wow, everywhere that we go. Like I haven't already seen these things like a million times before, but it's still just such an like wonderful eye-opening experience. And everyone here too has just been like so accommodating and helpful, and you know, making us feel so welcome in a place that, you know, it's not like we necessarily like know all of the culture or the cues or any of that kind of stuff. So it's been really awesome to be surrounded by people who are kind of able to help us with that and to, you know, not make us stupid.
Yeah, and everyone's so kind.
Yes, everybody is. Yeah. And I think that there's also been this kind of thing that I've noticed is just like a lot of gratitude and community like between people, which I wouldn't say that I necessarily find in like most, you know, big city areas, you know, of the United States, or even necessarily small city areas. I guess it just depends on where you are.
You're right. Like the one word that really like comes into my mind when I think of like Bali is people here are very mindful. Like they're very mindful of like everything, you know, like, and very like respectful. Another
thing that's interesting is too like how well they know their own vehicles, because
I know, dude, you're right.
The roads are like this big.
They're for like,
but they're 2 lanes of traffic.
Mini cars.
Yeah, but even the cars themselves, like, you know, we've been getting driven around in like, you know, kind of micro SUVs. Like they're big enough, you know, obviously for the people that we have in them, but. You know, it's a lot of people on little mopeds and, you know, small motorcycles, stuff like that. And that seems like primarily how most people get around. It seems obviously the easiest.
Yep.
But literally just kind of like, Okay, so can you imagine if it was congested like that in Las Vegas? Nobody would let you in. Like, we've had people slow down to like let us, cross the walks, even just like riding around in the car, watching just how people know the size of their vehicles so well. They do little courtesy beeps, but not like,
no,
like
it's like beep beep, we're here, beep beep.
And just kind of like everybody going around doing their thing, getting it done. And everybody just being kind of so cautious of each other. And that's not to say that there aren't like accidents here or anything like that. Of course there are. But it just seems like, I guess that people care.
And people go with the flow.
It's very, very chill. I really like the island vibe.
Me too. And all the stores. We've been shopping.
We've been shopping way too much. Laura, shopping for women is so fun. How much shopping have we done in Bali?
We've been shopping every single day.
So many different kinds of outfits.
Yeah.
Tops, bottoms, shorts. It feels like women's fashion changes all the time. But with guys, it's always pants, shirt. Shorts, maybe. And it all pretty much looks the same, right? And honestly, sometimes when I buy stuff for my man, it just doesn't fit him right, especially if I'm buying online and I don't know what it is until it arrives. You know what I mean?
Sizing too.
No, it's awful. And especially my man, he's so pretty. He's got these big shoulders, but his is tiny little waist.
Huge.
He's so massive. So it's hard to find things that fit him well in the shoulders and the waist.
Right. No, I could find that. I could see how that'd be challenging.
Yeah, for sure.
Seriously.
I don't know. Oh, that's another thing. Like, okay, so when you find something that fits you so well, you're just like, I feel good.
Yeah.
And when you feel good, you look good.
Right.
Well, luckily for everybody today, our sponsor of this show is True Classic. Now, maybe you guys have heard of True Classic on other podcasts, but you should only be listening to this podcast, of course. But did you know that at True Classic Tees, they have sizing that goes all the way up for even like the big boys out there.
Ooh,
what they told me is they have tall and XXL sizing on all their staple colors. They're more than just a t-shirt company. They have all the menswear staples that your guy could ever need. Polos, workout shirts. Signature flattering fit. You want to be flattered, don't you? If you go out and you wear clothes and you look good, you want some compliments, right?
Yes.
You want compliments? If we want compliments, the men want compliments.
Y'all want to
too.
get noticed.
Y'all want to get noticed. They're more than just a t-shirt company. And I mean, honestly, they also have a pack builder on their website where you can custom bundle all of their essential products and save even more of a discount than we're offering you guys today.
Yes.
We get 25% off at trueclassictees.com with code TWND. Free shipping is also included on purchases over $100.
Score.
So you could just completely upgrade your wardrobe and feel good while doing it.
Save your money.
Save money.
So you can shop more.
Yeah. So let's see. They're completely different. They have a closer fit in the arms and chest to highlight your guy's best assets. Ooh, get those pecs popping in True Classic. They have a little wiggle room in the torso to keep things cozy and streamline your look, so not too tight in the waist, but also not too tight in the chest. All of their styles are super soft and affordable. Out with the old ratty t-shirts that you've been hanging on to since varsity volleyball.
Bye.
Did you guys play varsity volleyball? Let us know in the comments. But you've got to get these for the man or for yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This is a gift that he will actually love, and believe me, you will too. And to demonstrate how amazing these t-shirts are, we have a model today.
What?
Are you
We
excited?
do?
Yeah.
Who?
He's so hot. Come on in! Let us drool over you. No?
Hello?
Hello?
Is anybody there?
Hello? Oh.
I heard the door. Drum roll.
Oh!
Whoa.
Oh my God. Oh, come sit over
join.
here. Oh, he's so pretty. What? Look at those pecs. How am I ever going to find a shirt to fit those massive pecs and shoulders and that itty bitty waist with a brown face and your face you get? All right, baby. I'm going to give you this beautifully soft t-shirt. Now, let me know how you think it feels.
Ooh, that's a nice
by
color.
touch alone.
That feels good.
Yeah. I think it will bring out the colors in your eyes. It's really soft.
That's
Soft
nice.
soft like my skin.
It's softer than your skin.
Oh, do you hear that, ladies and
True
gentlemen?
Classic tees are softer than my skin, and I moisturize and exfoliate daily.
And it's really fucking soft.
It's really
It's like baby soft.
But even with as sweaty as he is, here we go. Ooh, look at that.
Damn, it fits like a glove,
That's wonderful.
but not too snug.
That's fantastic. Look at that. All right, so turn like this. Not too tight in the waist. I like that. Leaves you a little bit room so it's not like hugged in too much. And then take a seat.
Nice.
Ooh, that fits your shoulders really well.
How does it
considering how
feel?
big
I love
they
it.
are.
That's a nice color too.
You're gonna keep it on? Makes your eyes
That's
pop.
a nice color.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So if you guys want to not only feel good, but look good, well, half the battle of feeling good is looking good. So if you also want to look good, go to trueclassictees.com and use code TWND. You get 25% off and free shipping on orders over $100.
That's a no-brainer.
So build yourself a pack, an entirely new wardrobe, and help support the podcast that you guys love so much. And thank you to this model for being here
This
today.
hunk.
This is how we get more female viewers. Jordan Perry told us so.
Yes.
All right, now get out of here.
Thank you.
And thank you, True Classic, for sponsoring this podcast.
Thank you, True Classic.
Mwah.
I almost didn't get to like. I already packed. Molly helped me pack because she had like this
I'm a packing
awesome scale
expert.
that I could like make sure my suitcase wasn't over 50 pounds. But I'm like, I was willing to leave stuff that I had brought with me just to bring home all the goodies that I had gotten. And I was like, whatever.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
it's fun then too to be able to share like a little piece of somewhere with people that probably will never, go there or experience it.
My
as well.
Christmas shopping's done.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Mine is
getting
pretty much
Bali
done.
coffee. Sorry.
Everyone's getting poop coffee.
You're welcome though.
I liked when we called it a poopachino and he didn't get offended. He thought it was hilarious.
Hilarious. A poopachino.
I don't mind it. I actually really like the luwak coffee. I mean, it's definitely very different.
Yeah.
You know what it kind of reminds me of more is like a coffee tea. Because it doesn't feel as strong.
Yeah.
It's definitely not as acidic. So
It's so
very
good.
It's fantastic.
And the teas here are awesome. My favorite one's probably the ginger and then the rosella tea, which is like a hibiscus tea, but they were also good. The spice
so good.
tea.
Yeah. I can't believe that you have to leave already like today. We were actually squeezing this episode in. We meant to do 4, but luckily.
I'm literally leaving within the hour.
Yeah.
Like my bags are packed.
Oh yeah, you're leaving soon.
It's okay though, because honestly, like I said, this has just been an experience. The snorkeling was probably one of my favorite things. The waterfalls, the food.
Yeah.
Like the food we've been eating has been like food you would get in like, let's say like LA or like some bougie like, metropolitan city, and like it would cost like $30 a plate. We're eating full meals. Sometimes I'm ordering a pineapple juice and like a smoothie and like a
espresso
meal.
martini, and
yeah.
and alcohol. Like forget it in the States. If you add alcohol to your tab, you're fucked. Like it's so expensive.
Yeah, and I mean, like, remember last night's dinner? I was like, wow, all that for $12 when that would have cost like $30. And then we went and walked a little bit more, and I was like, I really want an espresso martini. And you were like, go for it, girl. And my espresso martini was the same amount as the food, but it would have been like triple that.
Yeah, but you also
Vegas.
got like the sparkling water bottle as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So like things here are like way more reasonable.
And I would say that the food just honestly, it's something like it. Whenever I travel internationally now, like even when I went to Mexico and had all the amazing food there, or the amazing food in Australia where I got very, very fat for me and my standards for myself.
She got a little thick on you.
Got a little thickums because like the food is just so good. Like I can't explain it. It's like you're tasting the flavor of the food and not just like
Yes, the real
sugar.
food.
Like or everything is very natural. Like honestly, here I've been eating a lot vegan.
Yeah.
Almost like not really intentionally or kind of like vegetarian, I guess, because I'll have an egg now and then.
Yeah, and also we've had like tons of like cheese, like the halloumi cheese.
Oh, so introducing Laura to halloumi cheese was amazing. She didn't know what squeaky cheese
I
was.
want more.
It's really good.
Do they sell in the States?
I think you can buy some off of like Amazon because that's what I did when my man came back from Australia. I got some to surprise him because I didn't know where you could find it in stores. I hadn't seen it in stores before.
It's a specialty thing, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely gonna make some. And I think I felt like I lived off avocado toast here, which is totally fine with me because I love avocados.
But they'll
and
add
I
like
love
feta and radishes and like all this, just like everything. I can't even think of a food that I've had that I was like, ugh.
Like I'm kind of bummed to leave because I want to keep eating this way. Like it felt
that's
so
the
good.
thing is, so what happened for me too is, for instance, like when I did go to Australia, we pretty much for the most part didn't eat out that much. So we ended up cooking a lot, but the times that we did, it was very much like, you know, something very special. Like, for instance, in Sydney, we ended up going to a place called Spice Temple.
Ooh.
That was amazing.
What is that? Like, what kind of food?
So it's kind of like this Asian fusion type thing, but it's kind of like where you order like family style. So it's like it's better to go with a bunch of people, and you'll order a bunch of different stuff, and everybody samples.
That's
but definitely just
awesome.
tasting food around the world. Like when I got back, made me not really want to order out. Like now, the only time that I order out food in the States is like if we are working and
Yeah.
we don't have time to cook, because now I'm to the point that I would much rather cook, because anything that you can kind of make yourself,
It tastes
is
so much,
so much
better. And it's better for you. Mm-hmm. I mean, although
you
we
can
don't
control what you put in it. You can control. Oh, that was another thing. So like with coffee, for instance, they had options where the sweetener was already added to like the powders for the teas and stuff like that. But he recommended doing it sugar free, because then you can kind of control your own sweetness. And so I think obviously for like tourist purposes, they have ones that have sugar that are very like sugary.
and they're delicious. Don't get me wrong, but
they're
you
good,
can
but-
taste the sugar.
But it's better because even the ones that they prepare for you, they add the sweetener themselves, they said. So it's not like, you know, the powders that already have it in there. And for me personally, like, you know, when you can cut out some of the just like butter and sugar, you can actually taste what you're consuming. And when you have more control of like what you put in your food, and when you're the one preparing it, you're more mindful overall of what you're eating, because you never know really, I guess, like when you're ordering out or when you're going to a restaurant, like what it is that they're cooking it all in. Like, do you know how many steaks are just cooked in like a pound of butter? Like, yeah, I'm sure that tastes amazing, but it's going to stop your heart in 5 years.
Butter.
Like, yeah. And it's great. It's not like, oh, they don't ever use butter and sugar here. No. Yeah, actually,
do.
Bolognese is very like sugary in a lot of their things, but you can find many, you know, wonderful, healthier options. And honestly, even in Australia too, I found that just a lot of healthier options overall. Even just like getting coffees. Mm-hmm. I feel like I get like any sort of flavored latte in the States, and it's like drinking syrup with a little bit of caffeine in it. Like it's it's not.
Ugh.
I forgot to mention the coffee that I sidebarred a million times to tell you guys about. I never even mentioned the taro coffee.
Oh, yeah, so bomb. From
had-
this morning at Nude.
This morning at Nude, we went and I saw it, latte, taro, and I was like, all right, I love taro bubble tea. I'm gonna try it. It was the best thing ever. It was actually it was literally the color of these.
It was!
filters. And I was so surprised. And then it had a cute little like almond cream heart in the middle.
It's beautiful.
Oh, and that little tiny donut hole.
I didn't even see a donut hole. You must have ate it quick.
I ate it real quick.
I was like, what donut hole? Also, the raspberry cheesecake there, you got to go back and try it. Let me know.
Oh, we got that other cheesecake, and I know that you weren't like a super fan of the cheesecake we got from that other place, but
Yeah.
it was very like low sweetness, which I actually kind of prefer in a cheesecake because it makes it feel a lot lighter.
Yeah.
But the taro, oh my god! I actually was sitting there at breakfast this morning looking up how to make a taro latte.
Yeah.
So
I was like, I could have this every morning.
I'm gonna try to actually make it in Australia, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Do
'cause
it.
I should be able to buy taro root there. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, because I
And then
definitely want to explore more with that kind of stuff and with just creating more. So tell them what else you did today. I've just been like.
So we did. Oh, we went to the beach. Oh my God, it was so cool. So after eating at Nude, we walked a little bit further. Wasn't much longer to the beach. So we get there, and you know we take our shoes off,
Oh my god.
and we touched the sand for the first time. It was so hot.
It was
Our
burning.
feet were like ah, and then
Burning.
I put my shoes back on. And I was like, hold on.
Well, it's almost like almost not completely, but a lot of black sand.
Yeah.
Like, and
so it absorbs all the heat from the sun, like extra. And it's like you're walking on hot coals.
Yeah.
And
It's like run.
yeah, and we're like, what do? We run.
Yeah.
So we literally just bolted to like the water, or where the sand got a little bit cooler, and it was fine. And we put a ton of sunscreen on because
So much.
we've been really getting a lot of sun, which is amazing. We've got
it's-
these beautiful tans now.
And based on where we are in relation to the equator, the sun is much more
Powerful.
burn you here.
Yeah.
So you really have to truly be careful with the sunscreen, as I found out from snorkeling. So
And reapply.
reapply
Like constantly. So, I mean, that was super cool. We got to like go out there for like an hour, which is really what I was looking forward to. Like for the last day was just having a chill day. We started the morning today with another massage, which was amazing.
Wonderful. The ladies who have been giving us the massages are just so wonderful.
Yeah, I'm so relaxed now. And I'm like, oh gosh, it's like the best way to start the day. What?
Should I tell them about my special button? So they lay out the sarongs as they did before, like, you know, for me and Laura to be able to lie next to each other, and they kind of just climb on top and just start doing their business. So they're working their way up my legs, and she starts massaging my glutes, and I was like, all right, yeah, I need a glute massage. It's like, you know, like when you're sore, but you don't realize how sore you are until you rub it or someone else starts to like massage it.
Yeah. Work that area.
Yeah, or even like I've had it before where it's like, oh, like my neck is sore, then my man just kind of like does this just a little bit just as we're snuggling or something. I'm like, oh God, it feels so good. So that was the kind of bliss that I was in this morning. She starts working her way up my legs, and I'm on my stomach, mind you. So picture this in your head, ladies and gentlemen, as we sit here.
I had no idea this was going on, by the way.
Of course not, because she was blissed out of her mind too. So she's working her way up, starts massaging my glutes, and then, you know, takes one of her hands, places it on the back of my thigh, and takes her other hand, cups my butt cheek, and her finger just decides it's going to rest directly on my butthole through the sarong. So she's gripping my butt cheek to like give herself leverage with her thumb directly on my asshole. To which my eyes open very wide as I sit there like, what's gonna happen next? She goes, what's going on? She keeps rubbing it, and then she starts massaging with this hand. So her finger is working into my butthole as well. So I don't think it was intentional, but I inadvertently got a butthole massage this morning, and I'm actually not mad about it at all. I'm not mad.
I'm mad because I didn't get one. I have issues with this.
But it's one of those things, I don't know if it was intentional because that didn't happen the first time. But when she starts working the other leg, right, she takes her hand away. I'm like, okay, I close my eyes because my butthole's no longer being touched. And then she grips the other side and starts working the other leg. And so there was probably like 20 minutes of this woman just kind of like lightly fingering my butt.
Well, you know, I've heard this before. Doing that really relieves all tension in the body.
It does actually. It's funny. It probably sounds weird, but you know, when I'm out in public and I'll, you know, just be a little stressed or whatever, my man will just like
put his finger right there in the crack.
He did it last night at dinner when I was stressing about Bali belly. Like I leaned forward to read the menu and I sit back and there's a thumb and I was like, what are you doing?
But it's also
okay.
But also I'm gonna sit back.
Do you like butt stuff?
Yes.
What kind of butt stuff do you like?
Butt plugs are fun.
Have you ever done like a vibrating butt plug?
No, I've only done like just a metal one.
Do you prefer a finger or a butt plug?
Butt plug.
Butt plug.
Yeah. What do you like?
Well, I never really did that much butt play until, you know, the last couple years. But the first thing I kind of started with was, I don't know, it was I was just randomly like, I was really excited to be having sex with my partner, and I was like,
I think they're so pretty.
And I was just randomly like, put your finger.
Let's just see where this goes.
You know, doggy style. Like I'm on my stomach, and I was like, oh, it's just
what, like the bowling ball grip?
Yeah. Yeah, just a little, you know, and I was like, whoa, it feels so nice, I think. I don't know. I'll kind of see how it feels. But I actually really like how the butt plug feels. Like, it's not definitely not something like, oh, I pull this out every time I have sex. In fact, I can't fuck without a butt plug.
But it's pretty.
But it's also like, okay, so you don't have to look at my, like, chocolate starfish. That's already cool. Like, it can be like a rose,
Molly
or a heart,
Starfish!
Molly Starfish. More merch mugs are coming. They're going to be released in Indiana.
They're so cute.
It's going to be very cool.
They're so cute.
But I actually like the way that the butt plug kind of like pushes against like your pussy, essentially, especially while you have a dick inside of you or a toy or whatever, because it just puts pressure in a place that you're definitely not used to having.
You're like,
pressure.
oh, I like this.
And you're like, oh, okay, I could do this for a minute. My thing is always like taking it out afterwards, because putting it in, it's so hard for me to relax in all aspects of life. Oh my God. We have to talk about the float tank. We'll get there.
That was the other day. Was that yesterday? No, 2 days ago.
2 days. But
Back to the butt plugs.
It's hard for me to like get it to the point of like relaxing. That's always my issue is relaxing to like get it in because you gotta like do the little twist to
And then it kind of goes.
and then your butthole just like sucks it
Yeah,
out. It's like the
that's
riptide
my
at the
favorite.
ocean today.
That's my favorite part is when the butthole just sucks it in.
Yeah, it's just like oh.
Just don't fall asleep with one. This is a disclaimer. I have done that before, and actually, like it went in me, and I had
all the
to
way
dig
in?
it out. Yeah,
Oh, no.
and it was a big one. So like,
painful.
yeah, but it was my own fault. I fell asleep with a butt plug, metal one with the big
Well, that's another
part.
thing is after you have sex, you should always pee afterwards because then you can make sure that you're taking care of all the business. You can get like a UTI if you don't pee after.
Well, this was in my pooper though.
No, but I'm saying like
Oh.
if you go to pee afterwards, then you're like,
Oh,
and
and then- yeah,
so
you're
I should
right.
take it out or whatever.
You're
know?
right.
Just kind of a word for everyone because some people don't know. Some people don't know that you should pee after sex. So I just want to let you guys know, and that's more for women, I think, than men. I don't think that's the same thing for men.
Yeah, I will never do that like again.
But
I
think
learned.
it's something too because I believe that this is the reason. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a doctor, but I think it has something to do with the fact that especially like after you orgasm, it's like because I'll sometimes go to pee after. It takes forever to pee because you're so tense from kind of just having orgasm, just having all that penetration and moving in and
It
out
feels
and all
good
that.
to pee after too.
It does, but it can take a minute. So some people just like won't do it because at first it doesn't even feel like necessarily like you have to pee. And then so what that can do is then you're holding it for an extra long amount of time and then you have to create even more pressure. So I think that's kind of what can create things like UTIs and stuff like that.
Gosh. Okay, can we talk about float tank? We went to do something that we thought would be very like chill, very like a new experience. Never done it. I've never done it. You've never done it. It's basically you get there. It's very, very pretty, like a beautiful like place.
It's gorgeous and relaxing. They gave us like a little wellness energy drink shot.
A tincture whatever you call
Yeah,
it.
tincture, whatever.
They gave us like
Tincture.
a little coconut water to sip with like some like lime or lemon. All around awesome experience. They let you pick out what you want to listen to when you're in this float
They
tank.
had Matthew McConaughey options, and I was like, oh, I listened to him on the call.
And I laughed because I just think of Matthew McConaughey and like all the movies he's in and all the roles he plays. And I mean, I love him.
Yeah.
But I just can't take it serious.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this is supposed to be like relaxing. And I'm like, I can't really.
His voice is actually very relaxing to fall asleep to. Maybe if I had gone with Matthew McConaughey, I would have had a different experience.
Yeah. And I think you should
But I
have.
had an experience.
Yeah. So
I died.
talk about it.
I died. So I don't know how else to say it. I died.
And I was right next to her, and I feel so bad that I wasn't there with her,
So-
helping her come back to life.
So I know I've mentioned how paranoid I've been about getting Bali belly because like I feel like something for me is I'm so infrequently sick that I hate the thought of being sick or I'm paranoid of getting sick in like any manner. So with this, I was just kind of like, oh, you're in a tank, you float, you basically listen to like some calming music, and
It's very salty water.
I did like a calm your mind track, thinking that will help. It did not. So she's walking us through, telling us how to do it. She's like, so beforehand, make sure that you use these earplugs.
It's 90 minutes.
While you're dry. Put the earplugs in because it will help prevent the salt water from getting in your ears.
Jump in the shower.
And then you have to shower off everything, so you can only use soap and body wash, no conditioner. And then at the end, you can shower again, use conditioner, and you spray vinegar in your ears after you take out the earplugs to kind of remove salt from the ears.
Which
like,
worked.
Okay, cool. We're down for business. She's like, okay, so now here's the buttons. Here's the light button in case, the darkness is too much for you. Here's the panels, where the music is. You can turn it up, you can turn it down.
Yeah.
And it's all here right next to your head, so you'll be able to find it. I couldn't find it.
Honestly.
We're getting there, though, because she also said that, the music will be playing, blah, blah. Then there will be a period where the music is much quieter, and it's kind of more like rain sounds and just calming sounds. And then, in the last 10 minutes of your 90-minute experience, the music will come back on. That's how you will know that you're coming to an end in your float tank experience. And then the lights will slowly begin to come on like a morning sunrise, and a woman's voice will tell you, it's time to get out of the float tank.
You're done.
Yay. None of that happened. So I'm to the point where I'm showering. I was fucking with the earplugs, trying to make sure I didn't get anything in because I don't know why. I've always been paranoid of things like in my ears, like whether it's too much wax. I was also terrified of earwigs when I was a kid because they climb in your ears. And I heard about one that got into a lady's brain. Terrifying stuff. Anyway, I have a rational fear. Maybe I need to go back to therapy. I don't know. Anyway, we're getting there. So,
But this was supposed to be therapeutic.
it was supposed to be therapeutic.
The whole experience.
And, you know, I start to shower, everything is good, and then I'm to the point where I'm going to open my float tank door. And I'm not a weak woman. You guys know
she's
this.
the strongest person I know.
I was pulling on this fucking float tank door. I had to put my foot on the float tank and pull it to get it open, finally. And I had a moment as I was getting in that I was like, they told us to lock the door to the room, and I could barely get this door open.
Crazy.
Maybe I'll just leave it partially cracked, because she said that you can leave it open.
But the water would just be cooler.
Would be a little bit cooler. So maybe I'll just leave it a little cracked. So I get all the way in, and it shuts. And it did not shut for a crack, but I hadn't turned the light on yet. And I couldn't find the light button.
It's
so
pitch
it was
black.
Complete darkness.
It's pitch black.
The music didn't start. I'm pressing every button that I can conceivably find. There's no music. So it is pitch black and no sound except me flailing around inside of the float tank, being like,
With salt water that's extremely salty, splashing.
Well, she told us about like the freshwater spray on the side. She's like, you use that to spray your face, you know, if
it gets near your eyes or your
to
mouth.
like kind of clear it off. So I'm fumbling all around. I finally find that, and I spray my face, and then, like a stupid person, I try to hang it back up on the wall, but it drops into the salt water because there's no light. I still haven't found the fucking light.
It was on the ceiling, which is why you couldn't find it. It was up, not on the sides.
She said it was on the side. There was so much darkness.
That was misleading.
So that fell down. I'm like, great. So now the fresh water is covered in salt water, and I wipe my eyes. So my eyes are burning. So I'm just like,
oh wait, can we
there.
talk about our buttholes?
Oh, that was another thing. So they had petroleum jellies for, she's like, if you have any cuts or whatever. And the only cut I had was from shaving using a dollar store razor type thing. Don't ever do that. It's a bad idea.
It wasn't even dollar store, but it's like one.
Yeah, but I had a Band-Aid, so it was fine. And that was fine. You know, it was not fine.
My butthole.
Pooping
and hers.
charcoal in Bali will make your butthole a little raw. My butthole was on fire.
Mine too. And after we were done, I was like, did your butthole burn like a bitch?
It burned like a motherfucker. It was crazy.
The first 10 minutes of my experience was like just burning
So
butthole.
they have this little like floaty pillow that you kind of like put your head in that's supposed to help with neck tension. But you know what doesn't help with neck tension? When you're so tense that you're laying in the float tank with your shoulders pulled all the way up to your ears because you're panicking. So I'm trying to lay there and trying to relax, and my butthole is on fire. I can't relax.
Saw in your eyes.
I can't relax. The music isn't starting no matter what button I press, and I'm just laying there like, God, is this ever going to end? And then all of a sudden, my earplug starts leaking. I'm getting salt water into my ears. I'm trying to lie there and float and relax, and I'm thinking, people do this for fucking fun? How? So I'm thinking, all right, I gotta get out of the float tank. I need to get out because I need to like fix this little thing or I'm gonna get salt in my ear, and I didn't know if that was gonna fuck me up for the rest of the trip or something. So I try to get out and I'm pushing on this thing and I can't get it open. So I finally get it out of my ear and I find the bottle, so I spray that with salt water. I'm flicking it around to let it dry, and I'm just kneeling in the float tank. So this is how I look for those who are watching on YouTube. This is me in the float tank, squirting my earbud,
this big.
shaking it off. I'm
very
hunched over.
small.
It's not okay.
It's like a coffin.
And as it goes, my pillow floats away somewhere into the abyss. I'm like, motherfucker. So I'm trying to dry this thing. I end up putting it back in my ear, and then I can still hear water in my ear, but I'm like, at this point, I don't know, I can't get out, so whatever, it's fine. And I was so committed to like finishing the float.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was like, you could have left.
Because I'm like, this is me like trying to do a thing. I was like, literally nobody else is freaking out on a float tank right now. Everyone else is having a fantastic time.
I wasn't having a fantastic
There's something wrong with me.
It was, no.
So I start crawling around like Velma looking for my glasses. Like, where's my pillow? Where's the light? Where's anything?
It was
I finally find the pillow. I lay back, and then randomly the music comes on, and it's so loud. It's so loud. So it's I'm talking. The float tank is vibrating underneath me because it's so loud. was like a fucking concert if I was an ant. And it's not working. What do I do? So I'm laying back, and then I'm fumbling with the controls. I finally get the music turned down just a little bit, and then I lay there in the dark, floating, my butthole on fire, finally floating, finally thinking, maybe now I'll be able to calm down. And then I felt like I was floating off into an abyss of nothing. I wasn't moving. You float in one space. Like, I kept, like, randomly freaking out. My chest was going like this, just patter, 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 like
Panic.
Pounding. And I kept throwing out my hands to feel the sides of the float tank to make sure I wasn't actually floating away into the abyss. There was no abyss. I was enclosed. It made no freaking sense.
Were you still in the dark?
Yes, because no matter what I did, I couldn't find the fucking light. That was not happening. So we go going through this whole experience. It's totally fine. It's funny talking about it now. But I'm, floating
It wasn't funny then.
I'm floating off into the abyss, again and again. And then I open my eyes thinking maybe there'll be some little bit of something. Maybe it'll be better if I open my eyes. It wasn't, because then I started thinking, this is what will happen to you if you ever go blind. You'll just be existing in darkness forever. Then my heart started beating faster. And it got to the point where I started crying. I was just sitting there crying in a float tank, alone, in the darkness, with salty tears.
Loud music.
With salty tears sprayed on my salty face. My face is so dry, because there's just salt all over my face.
We're talking the saltiest water, not like the ocean.
It's salty enough to float in. You have to understand, it's so
your body
salt.
will just float to the top.
So I'm crying, my nose is full of snot, and I'm like, I don't think I can just snot rocket into a float tank, just like.
I was considering peeing in mine. I had to pee so bad at the end.
And I was like, and then I get to the point, and I was like, oh my God, this is what death is like. Death is just darkness forever, and you're gonna die someday. And what if you die now? What if this is where you go? Oh my God! And then I passed out.
She legit passed out.
I literally passed out. I woke up again. My face was even more on fire because it had just been covered in salt this entire time. And I woke up to no sound. There was no sound. Remember how they said there was going to be a little or whatever playing? There was nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I laid there in the dark with my eyes open, floating off into whatever abyss, just thinking every horrible thing that I could ever think in my entire life. I started panicking again. I passed out again because I was hyperventilating, freaking out. I was crying again, just and finally get to the point where I wake up again because the blaring music is back. And I'm like, okay, this is the last 10 minutes. I've made it through this far. I can fucking do this. The lights will come back on soon. The music plays for what I guess is another 10 minutes. No comforting voice tells me it's time to get out. The lights never came on. None of that ever happened. So I'm naked, my butthole is still burning, and I'm trying to push my way out of this float tank. I finally get it open, and I just stand there in the shower looking like someone who has just lost everyone that they ever loved, I'm sure. I'm sure I look like Julia every time she's punished for shitting in the house, but 10 times worse. I'm just standing there in the shower just
Were you sitting in the fetal position, rocking back and forth?
No. I was just standing there. I just stood there for the longest time, just being I'm so happy that there is light in this room, standing in this shower. And I finally get out of the shower, and I'm standing there, in my robe, just kind of standing there, rocking back and forth outside of my door. And then Laura comes out. And
she looked ghost white, and I knew something was wrong. And it was weird because we walked out at the same time, right? And I didn't expect to see you.
I was out there, but I had just come out and was just standing there waiting for you when you came out. So it was we were very almost on point. But I guess she saw how traumatized I was.
I thought someone died, and she did. She died.
We go down to the little recovery room, and they give you lotion, to help with all the salt and all that. And she starts asking me, she's like, well, what happened? And I just start bawling.
And I was just well, fuck this. This was not okay. I felt so bad.
I was like, Laura, what's wrong with me?
I also was very terrified about the darkness instantly. I was instantly terrified. So I also did the whole eventually found it. I was like, oh God. And I also panicked and felt shortness of breath and tightness in the chest. But as soon as I found the light, I left it on. I closed my eyes you can't tell that the light's even on because it's so dim and blue.
Yeah.
And I just wish that would have happened for you. Like, damn, that sucks. Like
think
that
that
you had the
maybe-
most opposite experience, but it was also kind of boring.
It was for me. I think it was a good experience, and this is why. I think it. You know, afterwards talking about it, like we went out and they have complimentary tea and stuff afterwards, and afterwards it was, you know, I was able to calm down, but I was still just like sitting there as they're making the tea, like rocking back and forth. My man was like, "Oh my God, like I am so sorry."
Yeah,
like, I
because it wasn't supposed to be like
he
this.
looked at first. He's like, "I thought it would be like relaxing." You know, he's like, "I forgot that some people panic." You know,
And if you go through the book where you can sign something like little
a lot
message,
of people. There's a lot of other people, I guess, who panicked as well. So
like
I
someone
felt a
was
little
like
better.
the darkness was terrifying. You know, just all kinds of like people that had panicking situations.
But I think it also kind of made me realize that I have like a lot of like it's like irrational fears and like obsessive thinking about things that I can't control. And that was one of the things that I was thinking about in the tank is like it just kept being this thing like, you are not in control, you are not in control, you are not in control. And
which
like,
is terrifying.
I am a control freak, and I didn't realize, I guess, to what level until that. So I mean, I guess that's something to give myself things to work on and think about and, you know, work through and stuff like that. So I guess on one end, it was a very good experience, and on the other end, it was a very horrible experience. But I think maybe something that if you guys have any of that kind of stuff going on, even if you think that you feel great, because I went in there thinking it was going to be an amazing experience.
You should see the photos of us before and after.
I did not expect to die twice. Let me just say that, because beforehand we took a photo. We're so happy. We're so excited.
Cheery.
And afterwards,
It looked
we took
like
a
she
photo
saw
next
death.
to it where it said, "Float more, stress less," and my face is like.
Also, if you guys like have experienced float tanks, please call in or
Yeah,
you know,
let me know about your
right?
float tank
Do you
experiences
guys
if
do
you've
this
done it.
regularly? I know they do it in the States.
Yeah.
So I've heard
People
about
do
it.
regularly, where it's like if they're having
Once a
issues
week.
sleeping or something, then they go in and they float, and it helps them with sleep. And I guess that's fantastic for them. But let me know about your guys' experience, because for me, definitely don't think it's something that I want to do again, at least not for a very,
Or if
very
you have
long
tips
time.
of like how to control the mind to like calm down. Also, I
I
did
tried to do
read.
that too. I tried to do deep breathing. I tried to talk myself through it, but no matter what, it just became, no matter what I thought of, it became panic, and it
Yeah,
became like,
which is fine. Like that's normal. I think it's some people,
I'm
but like
thinking
how
about
do
it,
you
my
do-
chest gets tight again. I'm like, oh.
I did read that doing the float tank for an hour is equivalent to 4 to 6 hours of sleep.
Oh, really?
That's why people do it. Like,
Well, I don't sleep great.
and it doesn't sound like you got that kind of rest or peace.
No.
So that's a totally
I was
opposite.
like walking through a nightmare.
Totally
I died,
opposite.
I died twice, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I literally, every time that because I'm not like making it up, like I literally hyperventilated to the point of like I passed out. It wasn't like, oh, I fell into a nice slumber. It was like I felt like I was dying twice.
So, but she chose life.
I chose life, and
honestly,
here we are.
look at we're still here.
I'm glad I remembered that. I forgot we were going to talk about that. We've been doing so many things, but I
Yeah.
guess I blocked that one out a little bit, but here we are. And I'm happy that I could share that experience with you guys.
And I'm happy you're alive.
And I'm happy to be alive.
I need you. Don't leave me.
miss you so much.
I'm gonna miss you too. And thank you guys for having us like during this time, like and you know, tuning in to watch our special episodes from Bali with Molly.
So fun being able to experience this with you guys, to share the experience with you, and definitely to be able to experience it with my best friend.
And maybe next time we'll bring one of you. I'm just kidding. No, maybe.
But you guys definitely should try Bali if you never have before, and definitely like share with a friend, share with your grandmother. I don't know. We're totally wholesome. We're
Yeah,
not-
call in. Call in. We
Leave
want
us
to
your
hear from you.
voicemails. And leave your comments, leave your voicemails, leave your emails, twndpodcast@gmail.com, voicemails at anchor.fm/twnd. And this is us signing off from our last episode in Bali.
I'm about to hop on a plane, y'all, back to the US of A. And I'll see. Don't know when I'll be back again.
But next
year. And I'll see you in December.
Yes.
When you come back to
And
Vegas.
we have so many fun guests planned, so stay tuned. I have guests also in Australia that will be coming on, so definitely keep yourselves subscribed. If you're not already subscribed, why aren't you subscribed? Just subscribe.
Subscribe.
If you subscribe,
Share.
you'll never miss an episode. You can hear
Like.
about all of the crazy adventures that we have, whether we're here, whether we're home, or wherever we are in the world. And wherever you are in the world, I hope that you've enjoyed today's episode, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.
Mwah.